here again with the latest episode. But this episode is not going to be about grace. It's going to be about Muslims and Islam. Specifically, it's titled The Biggest Misconception About Islam and Muslims. In my experience, the biggest misconception is that people assume you're not from here, wherever that here is. So I was born and raised in Canada, and when people see me with this, they assume I'm not from here, maybe not even speak English. So yes, I have had a few experiences where people tell me to go back to my country. Another misconception is that people think that all or most Muslims are Arab. And that's a very silly misconception, because only probably about less than 20% of the world's Muslim population is Arab. I would say that the biggest population of Muslims in the world is in Indonesia, and I believe it's about 236 million. But that's like the whole country in itself. The next population of Muslims that is a large population is 200 million, and it's in India. Now you would think that would be a big chunk of the population, but it's not. I believe it's only about 14% of the population, and the amount of Muslims in India is 200 million. So that's a very big minority group. Another population in the world that's going to blow your mind that is Muslim is in China. And the population is 26 millions of Chinese are Muslim. They're generally called the weaker Muslims, where China is trying to get rid of them as we speak. They apparently have concentration camps and brainwashing camps, and they're starving them, they're locking them up in their homes, and help them. Another population in the world that you might not think has a lot of Muslims is in Russia. There are literally 14 million Muslims in Russia. It's still a minority group, but 14 million is nothing to sneeze at. Another thing that on the list of things that have people that have misconception, another misconception about Muslims is that we don't believe in Jesus, or you don't know that we believe in Jesus. While we do believe in Jesus, we actually believe in all the prophets that are in the Old and the New Testament. And also, if you don't believe in Jesus and his mom, you're not a Muslim, because there's a chapter, an entire chapter that is titled Miriam. It is all about Jesus, the Immaculate Conception, the birth, the miracles of Jesus, the fact that he's coming back. Muslims believe all of that. And so he's as much a Messiah to us as he is to Christians. Oh, this one is a really good one. It's a big misconception that Islam is a misogynistic religion. And that is one of the biggest ones yet, because the fact of the matter is that women were given rights 1400 plus years ago in Islam, when most Western countries didn't give these rights to women until the last 100 years. And we're talking about inheritance rights, the rights to own a business, the right to have a divorce, the right to have your own name. You're actually not encouraged to change your name because you're not the owner. Your husband is not your owner. You are expected to keep your family name and carry on your family name. And so when you hear people in the media or YouTubers, social media, whatever it is that you see it in, that Islam is a misogynistic religion, or when you see people getting killed or not wearing their scarf properly, or when they talk about how women don't get equal pay or treated equally and those kind of things, that is not coming from Islam. And also, when you see a behavior like that, like somebody actually getting killed for not wearing their scarf, for not wearing it properly in their opinion, that is a cultural thing. That is a personal thing. That is not a part of the religion. There is no compulsion in religion. And don't take my word for it. Go pick up your copy of the Quran. I'm sure if you went online, you could probably get your hands on a free Quran, and you would have easy access to reading it for yourself. Okay, I thought the last one was a big one, but this is also a big one. So this one is all about the idea that Islam is a terrorist religion, and that all Muslims who are actual believing Muslims or practicing Muslims are also terrorists. Now, obviously, people who believe that have not actually picked up the Quran to read it. They haven't educated themselves about the religion. They're just following the latest blurb from Fox News or CNN or CBC or BBC or any of those outlets, because all of these guys have their own agenda. The truth of the matter is, if you actually read the book, you would see that Muslims they're not allowed to kill without justice. Like, you're only allowed to defend yourself, and even if you're defending yourself, the other person says, I give up, or waving a white flag, so to speak, you're supposed to stop fighting them the minute they say, I'm not fighting you anymore. And in fact, if you kill one innocent person, it's considered as if you killed a whole nation of humans, of people, just to show you what, how bad it is to kill an innocent person in Islam. So those people who are quoting you nonsensical stuff from the Quran, they're excerpting pieces which on their own obviously would sound bad, but if you had the whole paragraph, it's not what it actually means. So again, I encourage you to read. In fact, the first word in the Quran is read. God wants us to educate ourselves. So please, go educate yourself. And I want to contrast that to, this is especially for the people in the back, the racist, the people who are bigoted, the people who are ignorant and like it that way. If you really think about it, who has caused all the problems in the world that you can literally see in recent memory, right? Like World War I, II, the bombs of Nagasaki and Hiroshima, the Holocaust, all the genocides that you can think of. Who did all those things? It wasn't the Muslims. Now, I don't want to point fingers, but it wasn't the Muslims. And on top of that, it doesn't make any sense to tell people that, oh, your religion did this and your religion did that. It doesn't make any sense, because just because somebody is a Christian or a Hindu or a Muslim and they do something bad, it doesn't mean that that represents the whole religion, or all Christians or all Muslims or all Hindus. It doesn't make any sense. And you wouldn't measure people with that stick if they were Christian. I'm talking about the mainstream Western media. They don't measure it like that. They only measure it like that when a person is brown or non-Christian or non-Western. In that case, you'll just throw the book at them. But anybody that's white or Christian, there's something wrong with them mentally. And I just don't think it's fair to lump them in with actual people who have issues mentally, when these people are just bigoted, ignorant, and hateful. Next, a very interesting thing is that there are some people who think that Islam is a cult. For example, Italy does not recognize Islam as a religion, even though it is the world's third, or one of the three world's monotheistic religions. They don't want to do that because they don't want the people who are Muslim in their country to be able to access funding for their religion, for their masjid, for their mosque, for anything that has to do with their religion. They want to discourage Muslims being in their country because they think that Islam is for people over there. And for those people that believe that, you do realize that Christianity also came from over there, and Judaism also came from over there, and any other religion you can think of also came from over there. It's not a European concept. It's not a European religion. It's not a white thing. And the bottom line thing to remember is we're all human. So We all came from the same place originally. The Darwin theory of evolution is a theory. The idea that we came from apes is a theory. They have not found the missing link. And the religions that people choose not to subscribe to, they are legitimate religions that, originally had the best meaning. My point is that Islam is a monotheistic religion. It's an Abrahamic religion. It's a religion that came from one of the sons of Abraham, Ismail. It is a religion. It has good values, good ethics, and literally it's all about 3% of the whole Quran talks about rules and laws. The rest of it is all about ethics and what's the best thing to do, what's good for us, prophet stories, and a lot of lessons. So, for those people who are racist or bigoted or ignorant, you just have to read.